Just want to let you guys know that the stream is live right now. Thank you. Are we still waiting on Deb and Jane? They're not in the waiting room.
No, there's no writing room in this one.
Okay. There's Deb. Hi, Deb.
Hello.
We're just waiting on Jane.
I'm scared to even try to use my headphones.
They were pretty crackly last time.
You're sounding great right now.
I could ruin it and plug them in.
It really sounds good. It's sounding really good.
All right.
We're still waiting on Trustee Sierra. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Officer, would you like to call the roll?
All right. Trustees here, Trustee Johnson.
Here. Here.
I am here. You can hear my name, but things are a little bit gurgly. Is everybody else hearing okay?
I am.
Okay, I'm good now.
All right. So we'd like to start our special meeting off with the consideration of some code items.
You want me to jump into each one of those?
Yes, sir.
Screen's too far away. The first one is 1999 Ormond. This is case 273, parcel 6736. I'm requesting a 50587 cleanup of this property to authorize the Public Works Department to continue mowing and maintenance of this property. Property has been surrendered to the state of Ohio. and tagged per procedures and published to the owners, even though there really isn't an owner. We followed all procedures regardless. The COCIC land bank on 6/2, we're informed officially that we wish to have the property transferred to us, as is our right on seized property of that nature. It will be transferred to us. The only problem we've got is how long that takes due to the slowdown in state government and things like that. So we are in an area where we have to authorize, but the board will have to authorize the cleanup, even though the property will become ours. So that's my request for 1999 Ormond.
Okay. So I am going to make a motion to issue a 50587 cleanup for 1999 Ormond to authorize Public Works to conduct ongoing mowing and maintenance.
I'll second.
Trustee Jessenberger, Trustee Sierra, Trustee Sword.
Yes.
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 Okay, the next one is 3806 Cleveland Avenue, case 179, parcel 5594. This is a 505.871, and that is the removal of a junk motor vehicle, and the motion would also be authorizing the fiscal officer to certify any removal costs to the county auditor. Under 531054 of the Franklin County zoning regulation, multiple inoperative vehicles are not permitted on private property. This is a long-term case that has been ongoing for quite some time, and they have cleaned up most of the vehicles. The two vehicles they wanted to keep, they have covered and are keeping on an improved surface. So they are at that point exempt from any action by us, as they are effectively stored on a driveway quite legally. One vehicle does remain, and the owners are fully aware of their financial liability as we certify the costs. They've even, and if you look at the picture that I sent you, they even wrote on the back of the vehicle. I think that wording was just haul away. They left that one for us, apparently. I have been in contact with them and told them that it is a more expensive option to have us do it, but they are not willing to do it themselves. So at this point, that one is left for us to deal with. So I would request a motion to authorize a 505.871 removal of junk motor vehicle, and also authorize the fiscal officer to certify any removal costs to the county auditor.
So moved.
I'll second.
Just a little discussion on this before we call the roll. Jonathan, can you just educate me a little bit? And maybe it'll be good for the public to hear this as well. So I know that you can have a car towed off of your lot. You can sell it to like a scrap yard or whatever. There are people out there that do that kind of thing. Now, if we run across vehicles that people do not have a title for, perhaps, how does one go about getting that removed from the property? Do you know the answer to that? Have any insight?
Well, the ideal way of doing it in a perfect world is to obtain title to it. And as an abandoned vehicle, you can do that, but it can also be somewhat complicated for some people to follow that process.
Yeah, especially in COVID-19 times, I'm sure.
Right. The fact is, though, as a private property owner, you can have something removed from your property. And, you know, there's no liability for you if you have a vehicle removed from your property. It shouldn't have been there in the first place, especially if it's been abandoned there for some time. And if it shows any of the standard full abandonment, such as not operational, things growing through it and things like that, then what you do with it is entirely up to you as a private individual. And if you find someone who will take it, then it's been abandoned. Especially if you go for over 30 days, then you don't really have any liability at that point, because it's not your problem to have. It was someone who left it there.
Got you. So they could call like a tow company to come and like an
Some tow companies will do it, some won't. It's going to be down to the company. Yeah, it is absolutely down to them as to whether they want to deal with it, because some tow companies will then try and find the owner. And the only time I would caution against it is if you've got any sort of business, you've got to then have postings and things like that for removal. It's a very different situation in the commercial world.
Right. Now, those are the signs you see like in parking areas of businesses that says authorized towaway zone by whatever company is contracted to be able to do that.
That is very specifically defined in the law as how commercial businesses have to handle it.
Gotcha. Right. Any more discussion? Go ahead and call the roll.
Trustee Jessenberger, Trustee Sierra, Trustee Sword.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, my final one for today is 2099 Eddystone. This is case 201, parcel 4433. I am requesting a 50587 cleanup. This case has been ongoing. The property owner lives nearby, but they seem unwilling to clean up, and they add more and more to the pile in front of the property regularly. They have started maintaining the grass, but they are still, even after receiving certified letters from us and contact, they are unwilling to remove the debris that is now getting onto the road. All notices have been served multiple times. We actually went around twice due to delays with post office and COVID and stuff. We have followed the process. And you can see the picture of what the trash pile is like, and it does creep its way onto the road regularly. The neighbors are very much fed up with it at this point. So I am requesting a motion for 50587 cleanup of trash and debris. That would also be to authorize the fiscal officer to certify any removal and disposal costs to the county auditor.
So moved.
I'll second.
What was the address again?
2099 Eddystone. I sent you a copy of the, you got the email with all of the numbers in it.
Okay. You ready for the roll call?
Yes, please.
Trustee Jessenberger, Trustee Sierra, Trustee Sword.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. I think that's it for code for now.
That's everything from me.
So, moving forward, I would like to kind of pick everybody's brain about how we can kind of expedite these, like the mowing and things like that. I know there are quite a few out there that are pretty tall, and I know there's a certain process that we have to go through and have motions passed for board ordered cleanups or mowings. Can you just remind me of what the timeline looks like for something like that?
The absolute minimum timeline would require 2 notices, which can be a tagging. The second notice, it is become common practice that the second notice would be certified mailing. That way it is absolutely on record and signed for. That is the accepted second notice methodology. That can be as short as 7 days. Unfortunately, USPS we can be looking at 5 days for delivery of that, even inside the township, mailed from inside the township. For the last 3 months, I've not been approaching properties. I can deliver that and then document the evidence with a picture of having delivered the final notice, bypassing the post office. So I can actually do that. And it's just the last few months we've not been approaching properties to the actual front door.
Sure.
So that's pretty much going to push it down into a 14-day timeline at best, which we can then, it can be taken to the board at that point. And unfortunately, we also have 96-hour, that's 4 days effectively. Once it's been voted on by the board and approved, we have to post it on the website. And it has to post there for 4 days. But at the end of those 4 days,
period.
that's basically what we do is at the end of this meeting, I will schedule the work orders for the work 4 days from now.
Gotcha. So it's usually an 18 to 20-day timeline, depending on when weekends fall. Those are.
But yeah, in a perfect world, that's the maximum compression you can get on it. And yes, things can grow pretty long in that time period.
Yeah. So I am not opposed to help speed things along, to have a special whenever we need to, as long as everybody else is on board with that. I don't know how everybody else feels about that. Anybody else want to chime in there?
Sure, I'm all about compressing this timeline. And if Jonathan, I would say that we're not seeing anything from the CDC now that prevents us from walking up on porches in mask and maintaining social distance. So I would like to see us do anything we can to compress the timeline, including bypassing the post office and documenting everything. Because we know this is the time of year where we field these calls, and residents just do not understand why it's such a lengthy process, and their level of frustration is up. If we have a place, I think, to make ground, that we should do it. And if it means bypassing the post office, please do. And if we need to just count on having a special, we only need 24-hour notice for that. Or maybe there's a way you can take a look at your calendar and regulate it for us, or count on a time when you can have us. Whatever's going to work, best for you and your workflow. I'm certainly willing to dive in and just have a special over code approval, so we're not waiting 2 weeks just to get the board on it.
Getting the post office out of the equation is a major boon. As I said, it took 5 days to get a letter from the Innis Road post office to Eddystone.
Yeah,
certified mail.
that branch is unfortunately notorious in the city. They're all over next door, residents complaining about them. And it's just, I would almost take it to another branch outside of the township and try it from there if I had to.
I now generally, as I'm going over to the west side, I will just go to the main post office and drop it off at the main post office. It's 2 minutes out of my way on the west side.
If we don't need to do it that way, I'm all about not. We can document it in other ways, and we can photograph that it was posted, and we've covered ourselves under the law. So,
and all that documentation can be uploaded into iWorks, right? So it's just
everything goes into iWorks.
And I'm preaching to the choir on this, but 43224, even if you go outside of here to send it in the mail, is notoriously awful.
Right.
And I am astounded, as a resident of 43224, I have lost so much critical mail. So we all know that as people living there, but I just applaud this effort to go around the United States Postal Service. And even our Congresswoman has tried to help with this. It's astounding. I don't know what the problems are, but if that's one of the reasons to why the code compliance can't get right, I'm all about going around them. And I just wanted to extra document that they are notorious.
Well, I have of 7 7 certified documents sent out in the last 30 days. 2 of them didn't arrive. They've never arrived.
Well, that sounds like a game plan. Jess, did you have anything to add?
No, not at this time.
Thank you. All right. So do you want to move on to executive session land? Give me 1 second here. I want to make a motion to enter into an executive session pursuant of ORC 121.22G1 for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, or compensation of township employees.
I'll second.
Trustee Jeffenberger, trustee Sierra, trustee Sword.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll be back soon. Everybody back? Looks like it. So we're going to be back in session, 12:33. And Deb, can I have the resolution number for the next resolution, please? Like what the next number would be?
That'll take a minute.
That's okay. I think it would be the fourth one today, right?
No,
Three.
no, I have to look at, we had a meeting before this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Six, 11, 12, 13. If there was 13 things at the previous meeting, we've had 4 things so far,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure on that. So 14, 15, 16, 17. So this would be 0620017, probably, not a guarantee.
So 0620017.
I flipped the month and year. It starts with 20-06-017.
Okay.
Sorry, did you say there were 13 before and 4 so far today?
I'm not sure of that. I think it's 14 things. I sent out a draft of the minutes. I didn't have resolutions next to them. So in quickly scanning that, I think we passed 14 things at the previous meeting, or 13 things and 4 things just now.
Okay, so that would mean we were already at 17, I think. 13 and 4.
This would be the fourth one. 3 resolutions earlier. This would be the fourth. So 17 would be correct if we had 14 or 13 before.
Okie dokie.
Why do we need a resolution number right now? I don't like doing that on the fly because
We have a document that is a resolution, that's a hiring resolution that outlines terms and conditions of employment. We'd like to reference it in the motion and not have to read a big document, like we usually do when we have lawyerly resolutions to pass.
well, then let's make it 18 just to leave a buffer.
Okay, we can do that. All right. So I am going to make a resolution to hire Matt Huffman as Clinton Township Administrator pending a background check and drug screen as outlined in Resolution 2006018 with a tentative start date of June 19th, 2020. Again, that's pending the background and drug screen, to be paid from line item 1000 110 131 0000.
I'll second.
You ready for the roll call?
Yep.
Trustee Jessenberger, Trustee Sierra, Trustee Sword.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Matt, if you're watching, welcome aboard. This will be the last time you're on that side of the table.
We will look forward to having you. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.